Welcome to Riministritre Recap. Recently, we sponsored an Information Week webinar featuring analyst Wang of Constellation Research. In this discussion, Ray shared insights on how CIOs can elevate from being technology caretakers to being innovation partners to the business. Here are highlights of this presentation.
Over the past 5 years, the CIO role has been under attack. And it's been happening since that last big ERP or CRM project that was put into play. Up to 80% of the budget is going to keep the lights on. And this is a big shift, right? We've gone from technology leader to a caretaker. How do we get back? How do CIOs and IT teams get back to a seat at the management table? Well, we've got tough choices ahead. Right? If you think about what the average CIO has to do, they're getting mixed signals, and the business is getting mixed signals. And these mixed signals are pretty crazy, right? On one hand, we're being said, hey, grow the business, go out there and change, we need to add basis points on margin and revenue. And then on the other side, people are like, save, don't spend any money, we're in cost reduction mode. And then people said, oh, you've got to innovate, that's the most strategic thing you can do. And then we get held back by the lawyers, like, oh, we need to comply. Right? We're torn. We're being pulled in 4 different directions at the same time. And it gets very, very tricky. We can start by thinking about how do we do this. So there's a Coveyism. You guys remember Stephen Covey? He wrote this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you're a consultant, you probably have more than one copy of this lying around in paperback. It's quite popular. And the one thing he said was begin with the end in mind. So think about your organization. What are you trying to do? Right? How are you trying to push this needle? How much change can you guys handle? And once you realize that, you can figure out what type of IT strategy. Now, there is one other factor here that is important. This is really your organizational DNA. And you got to ask yourself this question, where do you fit in that spectrum? On the left-hand side, we've got incremental innovation. So you're pushing the needle along, you're moving forward. On the right-hand side, we've got transformational innovation, which is taking massive leaps, making big business model bets. And you can be proactive or reactive in that situation. Well, what we actually see is 5% of the market is a market leader. And those market leaders are actually doing very different things. As a market leader, right, you're asking questions like, can we do that better than someone else? How do we get there first, right? Is your organizational DNA the type that always wants to go out there and lead, change the world? If that is, you're a market leader. And that's 5% of the market. If not, though, you could be a fast follower. And fast followers actually work differently. They haven't been in a hurry to lead, but when someone else does, they get these teams together and move quickly. That's 15% of the market. We also have cautious adopters, and that's the majority, everybody. Cautious adopters know the problem's coming, but they're not ready. They're not able to make that disruptive shift. And that's a lot of folks. But cautious adopters, in the meantime, are optimizing their cost structure. They're trying to save costs. They're actually looking at how they can actually be prepared when they actually have to be innovative. And then the last piece are laggards. Laggards are 30% of the marketplace. And laggards are, if you're a laggard, you're like, nothing's changing. I don't need to make there's nothing big I have to do here. We keep everything in maintenance mode, right? Life is good. Now, what happens typically are the laggards are the 52% of the Fortune 500 that have gone away, right? They've been acquired by market leaders or fast followers who are saying, hey, look, you guys need to perform. And so you got to ask and say, hey, where are you in terms of that spectrum for change? Because that drives how you react and how you move to the next level. Okay, so what's also going on? Right? You can stay with the status quo. Don't make any changes. Everything's going fine and be on premises. You could also do the next upgrade. Right? So get to the next release, upgrade it, stabilize that, and move to new shiny apps. Or what we're seeing a lot of people do is actually figure out how to stabilize their existing apps, move to the hybrid cloud. This is kind of the big shift that's happening in the marketplace, right? And as you can tell, this is quite a massive change that's happening in the marketplace. So I'm going to turn it over to Dave, and Dave's going to talk to you about, how to get what your business needs and how to deliver that.
I think this idea of being a caretaker or an innovator really gets to the heart of the issue. Over 80% of you, the CIOs, believe that supporting new business needs is the top priority over the next 12 to 18 months. From the same study, 75% of you believe you know how to support the innovation the business needs. Unfortunately, 2/3 of you are failing to effectively deliver or partner with the business to deliver what they need. and you don't believe your function is that hub of innovation that's needed to drive business value. So what's happening here? Why is there a disconnect? It's because you're spending your time and your money maintaining the status quo and not delivering the business projects and the innovation needed by the business. 80% of IT budgets are going just to keep the lights on, right? Which is leaving only 20% of the budget left over for new IT initiatives. So maintaining the status quo is really strangling our ability to deliver on new IT initiatives. We replace your annual support program that you have with Oracle and SAP at half the price of what you pay today. Riministreet provides the bug fixes, the tax and regulatory updates. In a sense, it's the bottom of the hierarchy of needs that Ray went through, right? We keep the lights on for you and then give you the ability to then go drive innovation in the rest of your business with the funds that we're freeing up. We're giving you all kinds of flexibility to move forward with your strategy. So we provide that support today for 9 product lines, various Oracle product lines, which you can read there, as well as SAP Business Suite and Business Objects.
And that's even Oracle EBS, right?
And Oracle EBS, you're exactly right. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to just send me an email as well, drow@riministreet.com, give me a call. And again, clientservices@riministreet.com to request any of the materials.
Thank you for viewing this Riministreet recap. You can see the entire presentation and access many other valuable resources on riministreet.com.